We are here for round number 3. We're against Montolio, who is a notorious colorless vintage mage. He made his name with shops, but he's also playing stuff like Eldrazi these days. He also sometimes plays blue decks, but this hand has no mana, so we're going to have to mulligan, even though all 7 spells are great. Can you imagine? Just like Land, Mox, Dark Ritual, Ancestral, Buried Alive. This hand is a lot weaker. It doesn't cast Dark Ritual except for with Petal. Phoenix isn't great. I think we have to go to 5 here. Okay, this hand at least is a 5. It's a 5-card hand that can legally cast spells. Soul Ring. Turnosphere. Great. So now my debate is I'm going to play Tundra. It's probably the most misleading of the lands that I have going on. It doesn't. Montolio is also aware that I've been playing some Phoenix business. He's playing humans. Okay, cool. So if we draw another land off the top here and manage to resolve a Monastery Mentor, we're okay. We're still okay with that. He probably kept the Containment Priest hand, thinking I might be on some Phoenix business. Still, fortunately, we have 2 Tundras. Right now, we really look like we're Paradoxical Outcome. We're not drawing lands, but, ooh, White Eldrazi. That's what we're up against. Oy. Yeah, I'm going to concede to that, because by the time we get to 3 lands in play, we will be dead. So Montolio's on White Eldrazi. What does that mean? It means that we want Fragmentize. Mental Misstep does a whole lot of nothing, so those can easily come out. Energy Flux is pretty good at hitting the artifact mana. Stony Silence is likewise, and a little bit easier to cast. He is not playing artifact creatures. And so maybe we play the 2 frags and 2 stonies. Given that we saw the humans, there's a lot of like Phyrexian Revokers and Thalias and Glow Riders, so Zealous Persecution might also be reasonable. In fact, it might even be more reasonable than something like Stony Silence. Can randomly help us win in combat against Eldrazi. Let's try this. I would like to play first. This hand is insane. We'll keep. If Montolio starts off with anything other than Leyline of the Void in play, we make 3 Phoenixes on turn 1. Let's probe him. Make sure nothing crazy is happening. Okay. So, Glow Rider, Mox Diamond, Stony Silence, Turnosphere. Boop. So now we are going to go Dark Ritual, Buried Alive, tweet, tweet, tweet. Go to combat, and we're coming in for 9. So at this point, Glow Rider does not have flying, and we got game 2, just like that. It's also worth noting that Montolio did board for Paradoxical. You saw the Stony Silence in there. And so he is likely going to board differently for game 3. But the fact that he has Stony Silence in his deck means it's probably not that good. But I saw Mox Diamond. Oh man, this is tough. You know what? I think we want to just... Do I want to play one Stony? I think no. I think I'm going to need my artifact mana more than I'm going to need Montolio to not have his artifact mana. I'm going to be taxed pretty heavily and going to need to cast spells. This hand is pretty good. It's one spell short, one instance and sorcery spell short of casting Buried Alive. Black Lotus, okay. So of note here, we could, we have a few options. Dark Confidant, we could play Black Lotus and Lotus out of Dark Confidant. And the next turn, you know, I think that's probably our best shot here. I'm going to cast a Black Lotus. We're going to crack it for black. The blackest Black Lotus. And just play a Dark Confidant. Next turn we cannot ritual into Zealous Persecution because we will need 2 colors of mana to do that. But hopefully we can get something to happen once we resolve the Zealous Persecution or draw Karakas. Strip Mine. Displacer. Okay. Lavinia is a very nice draw here. So at this point I'm going to fetch double Tundra. It makes this harder to strip mine. Actually no, I'm gonna go white-black because we can fetch the 3rd color. And next turn hopefully we're able to draw, or next turn we would be able to go land Dark Ritual, Zealous Persecution, since we'll have 2 colors of mana. No, we wouldn't. This is confusing. But the idea is that we'll try to cast Zealous Persecution once we can. So I think on the end of Montolio's next turn, I'm going to cast this Zealous Persecution. Uh-oh. This is quite a combo. Containment Priest and Eldrazi Displacer. This really ruins our day here, because it's not coming back. It's just gone. Yep, there's not much we can do about that. Giving it a little bit of power doesn't help anyone. Montolio's weighing the going in with Eldrazi Displacer here. He shouldn't. If he's playing around Zealous Persecution, which he's a very strong player, he's probably playing around Zealous Persecution. I don't have any good outs to this Eldrazi Displacer Containment Priest combo, unfortunately. Except for exactly that, so I'm going to fetch here. Go white, black, black, doesn't quite matter. Cast a Zealous Persecution. And now block the Displacer. That was my best out to that play. So first things first, now I'm going to Thoughtseize Mr. Montolio, see what's going on. He has the Mox he can't cast. Lavinia he can cast. Thought Knot he can cast. Rest in Peace isn't that scary against us now that Containment Priest is in play, and I have no real way of getting rid of that. Let's take Lavinia, and then we'll Preordain. Dark Confidant and Zealous Persecution are both good draws. I'm going to Dark Ritual. I'm going to Dark Ritual out the Dark Confidant and Cabal Therapy. So we'll play Dark Confidant here. And then Cabal Therapy the Thought Knot Seer. Leaving a Rest in Peace and a Mox Ruby in Montolio's hand. The Rest in Peace he can cast. I will happily trade Containment Priest for Lavinia, so I will make that trade. Montolio's not in the business of trading, obviously. Thalia Heretic Cathar. That's a tough nut to crack here. So we reveal Zealous Persecution, unfortunately, and Cabal Therapy. At this point, we just have to therapy out the Rest in Peace, I believe. Leave Montolio with the Mox Ruby. We're not going to win a race, especially with Dark Confidant. Our best bet is to top deck Monastery Mentor. Stat. So we'll just keep it going. Actually, drawing the bird isn't so bad. We can't cast it yet. We need to draw Volcanic Island. But eventually we will. I wonder what's coming down here. Lavinia, okay. Doesn't really do much anymore. Good thing we cast this Mox. Ponder, okay. We can't cast the Petal. The Petal gets countered by Lavinia. We're going to look pretty hard for a fetch for Volcanic Island. Ancestral Recall draws 2 cards we can't cast, so I'm just going to shuffle it. Maybe 2 cards we can't cast isn't so... Or we can cast Thoughtseize, it just doesn't do us any good. I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, no shuffle. I'm going to cast a Buried Alive here. And I'm going to entomb 3 cards that I don't want anymore. I don't want Dark Confidant, I don't want the second Lavinia, and I don't want... Do I want to draw Arclight Phoenixes? That's a good question. I think I do want to draw Arclights. So, done. That shuffled my library, so I'll have a fresh peek next turn when I Ancestral. Unfortunately, the shields are down with the Zealous Persecution. Montolio can crash in at me and deal me a ton of damage, which is not something I'm particularly excited for. But my out here was just... I need to draw a fetch land, cast this Phoenix, or a Karakas to bounce this Thalia. Something good needs to happen for me. Unfortunately, Karakas enters play tapped, as does any fetch land. So, our hopes are pretty thin here. Montolio's got us locked out good. Only attacking for 3 is a pretty conservative play. I respect it. He's just really accepting how damaging these other 2 cards are to us right now. Ooh, Thoughtseize is not a good draw. Polluted Delta is also not a great draw, thanks to that Lavinia. So now I will Preordain. Cabal Therapy and Fragmentize also don't do much right now. There's Karakas. That is step 1 of getting unlocked from all of this business, so we're going to play it tapped. And pass the turn. I'm going to put this... I'm going to discard a Thoughtseize. Never casting them. I'm likely going to actually block with Dark Confidant if our opponent attacks here, which they're wont to do. No attack. Smart. Okay. So I think first things first is we bounce this Thalia back to our opponent's hand. Going to fetch Volcanic Island, cast a bird, now I need to decide whether or not I'm going to attack with this bird. So if he attacks with everything, I would not be in good shape. Would he attack? I don't think so. I think he might attack with Glow Rider, actually. but I don't want to block with the bird. I won't trade bird for Glow Rider. I'd trade Dark Confidant for Glow Rider. So I think I'm going to make this attack. In response to Dark Confidant's upkeep trigger, I'm going to Brainstorm and put 2 zeros on top. Chalice of the Void on 1. Ew. Disgusting. Montoya really knows how to make me hurt. So upkeep, I can no longer Brainstorm in response. Things I can do is I can bounce this Lavinia to play a Petal. Actually, I can play, with Glow Rider in play, I can do Petal stuff anyway. If that matters. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to add blue. Or 3, 4. I need to add red, I meant, for Arclight Phoenix. My life total is really low right now. Fortunately, Montoya has at most 2 attackers next turn to my 2 blockers. So I think my best bet, again, is to attack with both Phoenixes. And I could pay 1 mana and play the Petal. I don't see any reason not to do that, so I'm just going to do it. I can also just throw away my Dark Confidant. But I don't think I'm going to do that quite yet either. I can do it with Cabal Therapy, if I want to. But it does cost 1 mana. Cost the Petal I just played. Don't think I want to do that yet. I have a couple more Buried Alives in here, but nope, I'm not going to do it yet. This is a close one. That might have been a mistake, and if I die to a flipped Buried Alive or something, then I'm just a sucker. But I think that this is still my best bet at surviving. Because right now the Dark Confidant is also a blocker, discouraging Montoya from attacking. Thalia, Heretic, Cathar, yep. So on the end step, we're going to bounce the Thalia. We're going to hope not to die here. No! Oh, we would have won. That's so crazy. I was weighing sacrificing the... Oh man, that was so close. Good games. Okay, I'll see you all for round 4. Oh man, that was crazy close. I'll see you all for round 4.